Vermont Casting's hearth products are conceived by carefully combining the latest design, engineering, and manufacturing technologies, tempered with an ear for customer input, and brought to reality through good old-fashioned Vermont craftsmanship.
Welcome to the Vermont operation of the CFM Corporation. We manufacture the Vermont Casting's brand of cast iron stoves. Our stoves are a byproduct of our Vermont tradition of craftsmanship and self-reliance. We are proud to be a world-class company supplying customers with an American-made product.
From its founding in 1970, the Vermont Casting's brand has mixed tradition, technical innovation, Vermont work ethic, and teamwork to produce the best-looking and most functional stoves and fireplaces available anywhere. And in the process, Vermont Castings has become a keystone in the development of U.S.-made wood and gas stoves and has been honored as such by the Smithsonian Institution. Manufacturing a beautiful, highly efficient hearth product is a complex process that requires precise interaction between the product design team, combustion engineers, the foundry operation, the enamel line, and the assembly team. And the flow from computer design to loading dock is punctuated with quality control checks at every step. How did the Vermont Castings brand get to this point of recognition and world leadership in hearth products? And how have they been able to maintain such a dominant position in the hearth appliance market? Let's take a look inside the operation and see and hear firsthand from those responsible for making the best hearth products in the industry.
The product development process is very involved and depends on the teamwork and cooperation of many departments.
The Vermont Castings design process has always sought to balance art and science. We begin by listening to the customer to determine their needs and desires. Next, we combine the critical eyes of our artists, the skills of our CAD designers, and the thorough knowledge of our structural and combustion engineers who blend the best of form and function to meet the demanding standards of the Vermont Castings brand. The completed design moves from the computer to life-size solid models utilizing the latest CNC technology. These full-scale master patterns are hand-finished to precise conformance with design specs, then mounted onto follow boards. The boards are then sent to the foundry, where they begin their life as molds for the castings that make up each Vermont Castings product.
The point that makes our company unique in the stove manufacturing business is our vertical integration, a world-class foundry where we recycle scrap iron into a cast iron stove that is not only a very effective heating appliance, but an elegant home furnishing.
Many consider our foundry to be the heart of the company, not just because it's where the strength and durability are added to the product, but because of the quality-conscious attitude and attention to detail found throughout. It's known as one of the premier foundries in the world for its ability to make flawless, high-strength, thin-walled decorative castings, a trademark of the Vermont Casting stove. Among the many critical elements in the production of a high-quality, thin-walled casting are the setting of an accurate mold, tight process controls for our iron formula, and the unwavering attention to detail by our workers who ensure that every casting is up to our standards. The foundry process is more sophisticated than one might think. There is a great deal of quality control required at all phases of the casting process.
We guarantee our quality by putting in place processes to ensure that the quality of the parts is very consistent. In addition, we have people along the way inspecting each aspect that they are responsible for to ensure that it meets all customer requirements.
The casting molds are made of a specially formulated mixture of sand and ground coal. The mixture, called green sand, which is tested hourly, is then fed into the molding machine. This is a high-density machine that blows the sand between the two pattern plates. Hydraulic cylinders then squeeze the two plates together at 750 pounds per square inch. Once the molds are formed, they move automatically to a pouring machine where they await the molten metal. The melt process begins with a variety of raw material, including 40% recycled scrap iron. These materials are brought to the weigh scale at specific proportions. Next, a propane-fired preheater heats the metal to just over 1,000 degrees, drying the material and preparing it for melting. 3 large induction furnaces are on hand for that job. They are capable of melting 10,000 pounds of metal per hour. When the molten metal reaches a temperature of 2,700 degrees Fahrenheit, it is transported to the pouring machine. Meanwhile, the material cools slightly, a process that is carefully monitored. The pouring device is computer controlled, so it can duplicate the optimal pouring parameters for each mold. In addition to the temperature, the flow rate is critical. After pouring, castings are allowed to cool in the mold. The next step is called shakeout. Here, the mold breaks down and the casting is retrieved from the sand. Castings are pulled out of the shakeout and placed on pallets. Then they pass through a blast cleaning machine. The steel grit, propelled by the machine, removes any remaining sand and smooths the casting to an even finish.
Well, here we try to go by theories of lean manufacturing, which means we eliminate as much waste as possible, i.e. material handling, bending in and out of baskets, and by doing so we've made our process so that we can actually produce parts from start to finish in 3 to 5 hours.
After a casting has passed its first inspection, it is carefully worked with hand grinding tools. A rough perimeter grind is done, and then an internal grind that works the fine shapes designed into our castings.
We're the only North American stove manufacturer that has a foundry and a complete enameling facility. To get the quality of enamel finish the Vermont Castings brand is known for requires skill and attention to detail at all levels.
The enamel process has been specifically formulated in order to complement the unique design characteristics of Vermont Casting stoves. In the preparation process, the castings are blasted with chilled iron grit to remove any residue. This ensures a very clean casting and gives the surface a rougher finish that adds to the adhesion of the enamel. The castings are then sprayed with an enamel base coat that seals the surface. After being fired in an enameling furnace, the castings are put back on the spray line where they receive a final decorative coat. Then they are fired again. We also use a very efficient electroplating or dipping process for certain castings. The dipping process is called a one-coat, one-fire system that passes the casting through several dipping tanks, ending up with a very rugged, chip-resistant enameled casting.
Because we have the uniqueness of a complete start-to-finish process, we can be certain we have the quality of castings to guarantee perfect product assembly. Our complete integration assures short lead times and excellent product availability for our customers.
Thorough testing is performed during the final assembly stage. Each and every gas stove is tested not only for possible leaks, but for BTU performance. The leak testing is an AGA requirement, but the BTU testing is over and above industry requirements and guarantees that our customers are getting the very best stove product possible.
It takes skilled and experienced employees to assemble our product, but it goes together with no blemishes, no rough edges, and once the product is assembled, we take great care in designing the packaging of our product, so when it leaves the factory, it arrives to the customer in the same condition that it left.
We're able to produce a very high quality product due to our people. We have great people and they really care about the products that we produce, and that results in a fantastic product.
Design, quality, and integrity. These are the assets built into the Vermont Castings brand. Thank you for watching.